We all came here, this white field here. It's ballot. It's not mago mago, nothing like man no man.
By faith, I came and holding about 200 naira in my pocket.
You pay 100 naira, you pick one. Once they come to your turn, you put 100 naira, you pick one. So when they win the first round, I did not win. Hi. Second round, I won. That was how I won the house.
When I told my wife that we've now won a house, but the jubilation was fantastic.
We have houses in this estate that were won by cleaners. We have houses here that were won by drivers.
When we were in town, the landlord was increasing his house every 6 months. I said, I have a house, people are there.
Landlord wa sọ pé ó ti pẹ́ tá a ti wà nílé yẹn pé ká kúrò ńbẹ̀. Ó ní àṣẹ̀wọ̀n o, ó ní bọ̀tọ̀ òun fẹ́ kí n kúrò. So àsìkò yẹn lọ́lọ́run wá ṣe ti bí ìbáyé fún wa.
The story was all over the place, that there was a cooperative society that could cater for the immediate needs of people. And so I was interested in finding out, what's this cooperative society about?
Mo jẹ́ ọ̀kan nínú àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ NEPA ní ìgbà tí NEPA ń jẹ́ NEPA tí kò tí ì di PCN nígbà yẹn. Then ó dẹ̀ join ní cooperative Nepascoop ní 1985 tàbí sí dáwó díẹ̀díẹ̀. Èyí tí a ń dá gbà yẹn 2 naira 5 naira bá ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí dáwó sínú cooperative ní nìyẹn ní 1985 tí mo join.
Having joined NEPA itself as far back as 1980. So the moment the cooperative was introduced to us, definitely we all flocked in to join the cooperative. And so we were there contributing little from our salary. At the time, the deduction to the cooperative was directly from the salary. It's not something one would take the money there himself. So it was so arranged that whether you are contributing 100 naira or 200 naira, to be deducted directly from your salary. And those were the things we were doing until such a time that we started hearing information that Nepascoop actually had a land somewhere.
Ìpapà mi kọ́kọ́ mọ̀ pé wọ́n ń kọ́lé níbí but mo kàn mọ̀ pé farmland ni wọ́n ní àwọn ní síbí. Nígbà yẹn nígbà tí wọ́n bá fẹ́ ṣe àwọn nǹkan ọ̀gbìn bí àgbàdo nǹkan ọ̀kan wọ́n á kó wá wọ́n á tà fún wa ní ìjọra tó ìjọra ni mo wà.
It should be in August 1983. So they said the housing at Akute, they are going to ballot for it. And honestly, my faith gave me assurance that I will be one of the beneficiaries. I've not been to this area before. I did not even know this place.
As a matter of fact, somebody like me, it was the very day of the ballot. When we were to ballot for a house here, that was my first day of coming here.
When we got here, so we sat down, and Baba Jola came. They came with ballot paper. They said you should be picking.
It was a very funny something. It was around I think 1990 or thereabout. We all came here, this wide field here. It's ballot. It's not mago, nothing like man no man.
To do the balloting is just 100 naira. So you pay 100 naira and then you do the balloting. So who knows? Who knows, you might win something from there.
The first set of ballot paper, you pay 100 naira, nobody won. The second set, it's like nobody won again. It was the third set that you were able to say the winning tickets.
When they won the first round, I did not win. Hi. Second round, I won. That was how I won the house.
In fact, if I'm not mistaken, I should be number 29. And Baba did it in such a way that your ticket will determine the house that will be given to you. So it's not as if there's any game. He has named it according to disclose that we mark that once you are taking a winning ticket, that ticket will tell you, will show the house.
Ìgbà tí wọ́n ṣe gbogbo ètò tán ṣá oníkà deposit 10,000 kẹ́nìkan deposit 10,000 àwọn tí ó rí tí wọ́n deposit lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ wọ́n deposit àwa tó jẹ́ pé ààrí tí wàá deposit pé junior staff ní wá ní NEPA ìjọ 20 naira ìjọ 30 naira bá a ṣe san tọkọ̀bọ̀ sí 10,000 yẹn fi pé ńgbà yẹn nìyẹn lóbi pé mo wá kó wá síbí ní 1995 àti 1995 ni mo ti wà ní ọgbà yìí pẹ̀lú àwọn family.
And the funniest thing is that the so-called executive that did everything, clearing, fighting ọmọ onílẹ̀, buying, setting everything, none of them won. They were all there, none of them won, including even the founder of the, none of them. So it was after that they now took a decision that it will not be okay. The people who labor so hard, so they are now allocating houses to all of them. But on that very day we balloted, none of them.
The house is patterned in a way that you stay in your flat. Everybody stays in a seat on your flat. It's not like face me, I face you. It's a very peaceful, it's a place to train your children. Yes, it's a very nice place to train your children. You stay in your 2-bedroom flats. In those days there was no partition, but when we came, we started building partition to partition our houses. So when you stay inside your 2-bedroom partitioned house, nobody will know what you are doing. It's a very nice place to train children.
The peace here is awesome. Before, all my children, they are all grown up now, and they are when they lived here, it was like a good place to study because everything, and we have been very lucky with security. We have not had too many challenges. As everybody that comes here thinks that, I can tell you that this place is cooler, is quieter than Ikoyi. Because we used to expect that, Ikoyi would be such a quiet place that nobody will make any noise here. But here, if you live here and you want to study up to any level, the coast is clear.
And it's good for we retired people to relax our mind. We don't think of house rent that will kill us very, very quick. How can I pay 200,000 naira for 2-bedroom flats at this time?
If I didn't have this house, I would have become a tenant after retirement, and you can imagine how much rent I would have been paying.
From the beginning, we cannot say it's been rosy. No, it hasn't been rosy at the beginning. Because as at the time we moved in here, there was no water, there was no electricity.
There was no markets. So that whatever you want to do, you need to go to Akute to go and do. Even if you want to buy ordinary red oil, Ororo, you have to get to Akute before you get. But we were even managing that. But the major problem is on water.
So it is just the house, the building. And the building was not as if it was fully completed with windows and wiring and all what have you. All that one were being done by individuals.
If I should not lie to you, it was not easy.
We had to be getting water from outside to use. And you know, water is very important. By then, some of us that have that were mobile, yes, with individual cars then, and the person of Engineer Omokaye, who happens to be the first chairman of the estate then, and also privileged to be an automobile man. So he had the opportunity of coming around with an official pick-up. And you won't believe it that that pick-up is being used to get water for many of the people that are here then.
So, in fact, I have to look for a pickup from office so that in order to attract people to come here, so that every weekend, Baba Kukulu is there. He will put jerry can of 50 liters, everybody from the estate, and then you go out, search for the water, and after getting the water, he will put everything down in everybody's houses.
Unable to get drinking water most of the time, I will park a jerry can at the back of my vehicle. I was using 1.8 Bluebird then. So, with which I will have to take that kegs to the office at Ijora to get drinking water so that I will bring them down. We'll move to somewhere along Okearo there where we will have to go and grind pepper. So in fact, the fact that we move out, we have to move out to the next community before we can grind pepper and all what have you, that was one of the things that also moved the first chairman, Engineer Omokaye, to ensure that he gets a grinding machine then, and which, surprisingly, he has sustained. He has sustained it since then till now. More than 25 years. Still, just to ensure that people are still having the ease of getting some things done. So, at the beginning, that was just the way it is. We'll carry our clothes to the stream nearby to wash. But gradually, we dug a well, getting water. So, and those that can use, that can get a generator, we're using generator. I think we lived here for maybe, I may not remember vividly now, getting to some 6 years or so before electricity finally gets here. And even as at that time, we still happen to be the first community, the first group of people around here that was electrified. So because of that, then you will see people, then there was no rationing of electricity. It is light all the time. So people comes from Akute, close by to come and procure ice block from here. In fact, I happen to be an ice block merchant then too, because with my freezer, and then they will come from nearby to buy ice block because we always have light. Since then, things started getting better. I want to believe that nobody will have come to live in this place and regret it in any form. But for me as a person, I do not regret it. Coming to live in this place happened to look like a stepping stone. A stepping stone, a move in the very right direction.
There was something spectacular about Nepascoop. Out of the very many societies, cooperative societies in Nepal then, this one stood out because you discover that people had opportunities to acquire properties, to acquire parcels of land, to acquire houses. And I said, no, if I am to join any society or cooperative society, it must be this. And since I joined, I have become, you can't imagine that even up to the ceiling fans in this house, I bought them when I was in office and as a member of Nepascoop.
In those days, when the cooperative was cooperative, we were buying radio, television, onions, food, rice. During Christmas season, they would bring those who are interested in anything you want to buy. The cooperative will buy it and we'll be paying instrumental until we liquidate the debt. Cooperative has always been very useful. It's a very useful society. It is one of the best cooperative societies. Cooperative in short.
If you are able to save, you can take multiply by 3 thrice to what you have in your saving.
Anything you want, they will give to you. Just requests. Cooperative is good.
It has been a very good society, really, because it has helped a lot of people, a lot of workers. Some have been able to use the money to train their children, some to put up houses of their own. They always testify to that. The team comprising Mr. Ijola as the president, and we had Mr. Rejujoye also as vice president. Alhaji Issa also was there in the team. It was a very good team, really, because the leader himself was serious and very dedicated. The workers became very interested in this because since actually we can give loans, we can buy items on hire purchase, they buy on hire purchase and all that. And we had a branch, a Jora branch, Marina branch, and in the course of time, some other branches were opened.
It's like freedom, which was not easy in the cooperative. And you don't break cooperative. But in our own case, what I told them was that they cannot continue to come from Kainji to Lagos to come and request for loan. Let them have their executive there. So we created a branch there. That branch was the first we had. Later on, we were able to create more branches all over the country because we have moved from NDA, Niger Dams Authority, to NEPA, National Electric Power Authority. So we created one in Kaduna, we created one in Kainji, Jeba. So after we have created those one, we created one in Ibadan. So our annual general meeting is now for all of us together. But each of them will have their own meeting before that particular one. So that was the situation we were until 1983 when I was transferred to Aba. So I went to Aba in 1983. Then towards the end of the year, the Igbo people, they like farming. They can do anything on the land. They kill themselves, anything on the land. You see? So that office where we were was just built in a sort of small area. We have very vast land there. And then they were fighting. That I'm the one to farm this, I'm the one to farm this. I was the only Yoruba among the officers. That is, officers because I was the regional accountant. Then the admin officer, then admin engineer, the head of it himself and the assistant. We are the people who are managing the area. So it was like a surprise. I just called on the director. I said, please, this place is Nepa's land. Chase everybody out. We will farm it for cooperative, which is for everybody. The man said, you think you can do it? I said, why can't we do? It's nobody's land. Why should they be fighting? Let everybody leave the land. It was like miracle. He said, "Are you sure you can do it?" I said, "Why shouldn't I do it?" So the next day, I did a notice. ABBA transmission, NEPA transmission, ABBA Farming Cooperative Society. So those who are interested should join. We will farm all the land belonging to NEPA. They thought I was joking. So the next day, I just picked. I said the driver should carry me to the ministry. I went to the ministry and I asked them, "We have a cooperative society. We want you to give us implement to clear the land. We want to do a agric." So they gave me, and then all the tractors, they just came the next day. So they clear every place. And then now we engage people who did the rigging, and after the rigging. And after I told the director, I said, "Let us surprise these people. Tomorrow, let everybody come. We are going to plant." So up to 12 o'clock, everybody should be on the farm planting. So we did it. After that one, and everybody now kept quiet. So by the time the corn came out, they were cooking corn, distributing in the office, and so everybody liked it. So when I came back to Lagos, they now transferred me back to Lagos, 1985. And now said, "Okay, let's find land to be able to do the same thing we did at Aba." So Alhaji Isa now got this place. It was not this place we first of all got. It was Mr. Lewis who first of all took us to Camp Davis, is what they call it, Captain Davis. So that is Camp Davis, Captain Davis Resort. So he took us down there, and then we were to start working there until people were making all sorts of difficulties. So Alhaji came here, and then we were able to buy this land here. The day we were to pay, people were very much surprised. We went to withdraw the money. How much was the money? I think it was up to 300 or so. So, but it was a big amount. To hold that money was not easy. So we have to break it into three different ones. So somebody went in public transport, somebody went on the railway. The railway was constant. If you take it at Ido, you land at Agege. So I, with Alhaji Sir, went in a NEPA vehicle. So the three of us now assembled where we had to pay, and we put the money together. So that was how we bought this place. And we transformed it, we make a Greek. We are doing a Greek. So our first corn, when we were to shell it, Lagos State had a shelling machine at Ayobo after Ipaja. So that's why we used to go and shell this thing. But it wasn't long before the idea of housing came along.
In the course of time, the idea of putting up estate for the corporators, the idea was mooted. So it was at an annual general meeting that this idea came up. It was accepted, and that's how this estate came into being. The intention and the aspiration was that we wanted every corporator to possess a building, even to extend that it will not be actually, we building at one spot, at a spot. But if your hometown is, you just try to acquire land there, and then we organize it, we provide the money. Because I remember I had to go to Port Harcourt at the point, and they said they wanted the land. We went to negotiate with the lawyer and all that. We bought the land for them there. The cooperative, our Nepascoop society, yeah. We bought the land for the workers there. And I'm sure by now they might have put up there, I mean, Oyibo was where the land was. But we could no longer, as a society, be building for our cooperatives. But we were buying land. See, and those interested, they were getting their lands and then they were building it on their own. They were doing their business on their own.
I call Baba Ejola a people's builder because I discovered that a lot of people that benefited from these estates at that particular time were in the lower cadre. And if such to come from someone sitting down in a sitting room and deciding that he wants a situation whereby the downtrodden, I called the low earners downtrodden, to have shelter on their head at that particular time, when people could not even afford, the salary cannot even afford the cost of 1 block or 2 or 100 blocks rather, let me say 100 blocks. For him to have think of this, design it, work on it, and then got it implemented. Then I called him a people's builder, and it's a godsend. It's a godsend.
He was not looking at the fact that, I have to provide this thing for people of my status, or people that are closer to me, or people that are in account section with me, or whatever. No, it cut across everybody. Engineers in mechanical, engineers in automobile, drivers, artisans, and several others, even caterers, cleaners.
Some other leaders would have allocated 3 or 4 houses to their own friends, to themselves and to their friends, but he didn't do that. He made us to ballot for the houses.
We have houses in this estate that were won by cleaners. We have houses here that were won by drivers. Once you are a member and you win, then it's given to you.
I normally said it to at times, I said, some of the people here might not dream of having a house, if not for the efforts and the thoughts of this Baba Ejola.
So Baba Ejola was that open to everybody, and you couldn't influence him to do what he thought was not right.
Ṣé Baba Ejola, well, èèyàn bí ẹni Ọlọ́run ni, òun ìfẹ́ tí ẹ ní pé dìde nílé ni náà, ó fẹ́ kí everybody nílé lórí. Intention ti dìde nílé ni náà, ó sì even last week tá a jọ ń sọ̀rọ̀, ó sọ pé tó bá jẹ́ pé owó wà, pé ká tún ra lẹ̀, kí àwọn tí ò tí ì ní àwọn ọmọ wa kí wọ́n lè nílé lórí, ohun tó wà lórí ẹ̀mí ẹ̀ nìyẹn gbogbo ìgbà. Even ìgbà tí a tún débi náà, ó tún dá this Nepascoop estate, ó tún dá sílẹ̀ mí báyìí náà tí a ń ṣe, because tọ̀hún yẹn ti ìgbà tí wọ́n ti ta NEPA, gbogbo tọ̀hún yẹn kò lẹ́sẹ̀ ńlẹ̀ mọ́. But níbí náà àtúnṣe cooperative yẹn níbí báyìí pé tábàtì ẹ̀ rí lẹ̀ pé kó kálukú nílé lórí.
all what we had about Nepascoop. He founded Nepascoop, he coordinated it, he did a lot of things, he bought land, he introduced us to store business. Where we are is as a result of Baba hard work, if not because of him, whether we will not be here, a majority of us. So he did a lot for people.
Baba Jole's workaholic. He's very thorough, very and trustworthy. So if you are working with him, he will not touch any money without accounting for it.
He's the type that is not so the hustling for money. It's not there. If Baba is the type that likes money, there should be nothing stopping Baba from having about 30 offices here in this Lagos, because the opportunity is there, the money is there. But Baba never did that.
That is it. That's the type of person he is. So trustworthy. So trustworthy.
The whole thing hangs on the fact that he is a God-fearing individual. He was once an accountant in my department. So, and I knew him to be a straightforward person. Somebody that is not out to either amass wealth to himself or take something belonging to the general populace to himself. No. As a matter of fact, when the balloting for the house here was to be done, he did ballot like every other person. And at that point, he didn't win. He didn't win, and it was known to everybody. Not until, because as a result of his doggedness, straightforwardness, sincerity of purpose and everything, every members agreed together that this man cannot be but have a house in this estate. So, is that plain? He is that plain.
And that's where I'm not God, I'm not an angel. I'm sure it's one of the factors why he's living so very well. You know, when you look at him, I don't know if you have met him, he's straight, he's not bent. People at his age will have been bent, walking, but he's straight there, and that's the way, as straight as he is, in his character. And we're glad that we have such a person in our community as our leader, as our founder, as our benefactor, as everything that we wish to become in life.
Baba Ijola, he has a good heart. Without him now, we can't be able to get this place we are staying. Individually, brought out his mind. Posterity will always remember him. It's not something we talk, and he's a good Christian. He did a wonderful job. Bim?
If he had been allowed, he'll have carried his society to a very higher height.
Accounting assistant one was the one with which I joined Niger Dams Authority. Niger Dams Authority, they are the people in the construction of dam and the generation of electricity. So we were there. Then, but before I joined, something that bothered me was the political atmosphere. The Saudana people, they don't have people who could work in the civil service. Awolowo did not agree to work with them. As if when we are to hold before the independence, the British told Ahmadu Bello to go and ask Awolowo to join him so that they can work together. They know that Awolowo can teach them many things. You know, this time, what we are doing this time, I just laugh. In the north at that time, daily paid, having paid 1 shilling 9 kobo. 1 shilling 9 kobo. Daily paid in the north. Whereas Awolowo was paying 5 shillings 3 pence for daily paid. So they wanted him to. So Ahmadu Bello came down to look for Awolowo. Awolowo did not even bother to see him. When Azikiwe heard, Azikiwe took plane and ran to Sokoto and discussed with Ahmadu Bello. So now they form alliance, the NCNC and NPC in the central government. And since they don't have people, the Igbos were taking all advantage in the civil service. So, but then the victimization came. They were doing inquiry. In fact, it was the inquiry that exposed everybody. No politician is somebody that is not correct. There was none. Every one of them was corrupt. And that one gave me another something. You know, when they did that of the action group, their own corruption was centralized. If you have a contract in the West, you must pay 10% to a company that belongs to the action group. That company was one that built the 20-story building and about 10 houses along Broad Street. After the inquiry, they seized all those things and handed it over to Western region. But you see, during that period too, when Akintola came in, they started probing the majority of this thing headed by the Igbos. The railway one was the one that gingered me much. In the railway, we had one man who said, how do I forget his name? He was the chairman of the Nigerian Railway Corporation. He built that hospital at Ebutemeta. He kept it with all the implements that are available at University Teaching Hospital. That's the only one we had then, Ibadan. Was the only University Teaching Hospital. He built railway for the railway staff and he kept it with all good this thing, as we have at University Teaching Hospital Ibadan. When he was doing it, he built another house along Apa Road and make it hospital and equip it with the same all the things you can find in the railway. So during the inquiry, they now ask him, look into your house. You have 5 cars. What are you doing with 5 cars? You know that time, if you are going on Carter Bridge, it's only those of us who are on the walk path that usually have hold up because we are many. The cycle and the motor, everybody. Say, oh, you, what are you doing with this? His answer was, I love cars. I love cars. That was what gingered me. Then that is the second time I will go into fasting and prayer, asking God for something. Then I went into prayer and I said, what can one do to be able to provide for the needy people without being fraudulent? That thing was for 7 days. On the 6th day, then the word just goes to me. I was sitting. It was in the afternoon, around 1 in the afternoon. I sat on the chair like this, and the voice came. Set up a group of 1,000. Let them contribute £100 each. For 10 months only, you will get sufficient to help the poor, needy people. That was the answer. Then, £100. How do you get it? The toughest paid civil servant, they are on 200 and something. So how do we get? So I was wondering, what will I do? How do we get this thing? Then, anybody I talk to, if you just look at me and say, what is wrong with this one? So I went to the office, the general office. My office is myself and boss, 2 of us are in the office. So the general office, they are about 12. Then I just get there and say, ladies and gentlemen, how can we get people to make 1 million? No, if you see that voice, the totality of it is 1 million. They look at me. When I saw the way they were all looking, I just went out. Then the way I sat down in my office, I was thinking, what have I said and so on. Then one woman came, he opened the door, he closed it, he went back. He did that 3 times. On the 4th time, he just said, Mr. Ijola, are you okay? And he went back. So that one now gave me the opportunity to talk. So I now got up, I went to her, and I said, Mrs. Coker, can I see you? So she came, I told him the story. I told him that what I was trying to do is, I heard the voice, he said, set up 1,000, let them contribute £100 each. For 10 months only, you will get sufficient to help the poor people. He said, she didn't know that was the thing. Now if I succeed, I should put her name down as one of them. So that was my first convert. Then, I didn't know anything about cooperative. But before when I talk to people, the way they talk to me, I sent a message to my dad. So. My dad said, yes, it's possible. I was a member of cooperative society in the Nigerian Railways. It was from there I got the money with which I started this house. So that was the first thing that motivated me that it is possible. So I now try to talk more about in the office. Let's form a society, let's do something. So we were trying to gather ourselves together to see how we can form a group. Nobody knew about cooperative among all of us. All of a sudden, we now have about 24 people. Then, the 24 of us, we wanted to start cooperative. Then somebody came, he said, look, there is one man on the 2nd floor. He went to Cooperative College Ibadan. So what you are talking about, go and ask him. So I went there, I called on, it was Mr. Essan. Then I called on him. He came to my office, we discussed the issue. Then he promised that next day he will take me to the ministry. So he took me to the ministry. We met some of his class who were his classmates. We discussed the issue, and after the discussion, it was agreed that we should continue, that we can start, since we already have up to 24 members, that the minimum we needed was 10. So if I want to go back into memory to see what are the things that have enabled us to succeed the way we succeeded. The first one is the introduction of purchasing. Formerly, cooperatives don't agree in that one, that you can use your loan to buy things for people. But the day we implemented it was the day that jacked us up. It was when the government officials and cooperative officials in Lagos State felt that we have something to offer. So that one was the one that gingered us or pushed us to the state cooperative movement. The second thing that we can refer to as a sort of achievement is creating branches. Cooperative, you don't have branches. You only have your cooperative, you organize within yourself. But you see, with the way we started our own, NDA, Niger Dams Authority, the headquarters was in Cabinet Office in Lagos. But the majority of the staff are at Kainji, where we have the dam, which we were using at that time. So we created a branch in Kainji, and gradually we created a branch in Kaduna, Jeba, and then Ibadan. So this one was something that looks like an impossibility, which became possible. So today we can have so many branches attached to one society. So that's another thing that worked there. As I mentioned before, we went into agriculture, and that was due to the circumstances I met at Aba. And we have to, it's not something you can easily see with a cooperative society, dipping hand into many functions. They don't. So the motivation to have multi-purpose cooperative society started from us, because we were having many things attached, not thrift and credit alone. We have thrift, we have credit, we have purchasing, we got agric, and then housing. So housing is another thing that has beaten many people. Before us, there was a society which was formed by Prince Adebi. That society lasted for so long, but they could not do anything. They bought land, but that land was wasted at Ayobo. So until we were able to start our own, and we started building houses, so it was a surprise to many of them then. So those are some of the achievements that we cannot forget easily, that has worked with it. Then we introduced this directorship. We did not, there was just officer, we just elect president. But when I came back from Canada and I saw the way they operate, I introduced directorship. So you have board of director who will manage things, and then they have the authority to handle things the way they think the cooperative will progress. Unlike when you have perhaps only the president and the secretary who will be in charge and laboring every time on the cooperative society. So different people have different functions in the 9-group board which we created. So that was another thing that agitated the mind of the other people with whom we were working there. When I was trying to find out how we can help the poor needy people, I left it to God and He gave me direction. And up to today, I've not been able to organize the standard when He wanted. And all these achievements which people are crying about, I was just wondering if I have succeeded in what God said I should do, what will have been the result?
I came into this estate to the 16th August, precisely about 5 years ago now. And the 5 years journey has been awesome. I give glory to God because I know how I came in here. And coming in from the leadership, the neighbors, one thing I discovered is love in this estate. Love. And where there is love, there will be progress.
3 years plus now, I've been a member of this estate. Since I joined the estate, it has been peaceful to the glory of God. Even with my neighbor, where precisely I am, we live as a family.
The fear of God is in this estate. I perceive that. And unity.
To say the truth, the present CDA, they have been doing very well. They have been doing very well. They want to see that there is peace. They are making sure everything is well detailed, not issue of maybe somebody is siphoning the money they gathered in the estate. And if you go around, you will see a lot of things, the road, the electricity. So they have been doing very well to the glory of God. And I pray that the Lord will keep helping them. My prayer for them is that all these estates will be interlocked, that the Lord will bring them help.
I want to be sincere with you. The leadership presently, I give kudos to them because in the area of development, they're trying. When I came into this estate, a lot of development it's not like this before. And the leadership, I discovered that they are always positive, making progress. They will even call with some of the tenants, like, okay, an opportunity is coming up in the estate. Somebody's trying to dispose of the house, maybe he's trying to relocate outside the country. There is love, they wish success for everybody. Though there is no how a human being will be 100% perfect, but at least I still appreciate all they've been doing. They've been excellently. They've been wonderful. And my prayer is that God Almighty continually will use them more and more for us. In Jesus' name.